Yes, people. We're back again on the finished article, right here, live on Twitch, special edition of Fight Night. This is episode 4, and as you know, there's 2 co-hosts, so let's get them on. I'll introduce Shazad first. Here he is. Yes, boy. We good?
What's happening, bro? You good?
Yeah, well, we'll find out later in it how good we are about this, bro. We'll find out. But we'll get into it in a minute, bro. We'll get into it in a minute.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
get Nadeem on as well. Let's get Nadeem on. Yes, bro,
Yes,
we good?
guys. Yes, I'm good, guys. How are you?
Bro, we good?
Good,
There
bro.
we go. We're all good, yeah?
That's
Right,
it.
before we get into it, bro, we're just going to do the quick little, the start of the show. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. Subscribe over here on YouTube. Over here on Twitch and on YouTube. We've got a channel on both places. Fight Night is exclusively to YouTube, and the replay is uploaded to YouTube within 24 hours. At the bottom of the screen, you've got the official Facebook and Twitter of Finished Article, and our official Twitters, personal ones, are just underneath us, basically. But without further ado, let's get into this. So, as we all know, as the title says, we're talking about boxing. We're talking about that little scumbag Jake Paul and Tyrone Woodley. I'm going to let Nadeem kick this one off, bro. I'll let you go first, bro.
Well, mate, I don't know what to say. I'm still in shock.
I can't even stop laughing, man. I just can't take it seriously, bro.
I know, what a farce. What a joke to the sport, man. Honestly, it's an embarrassment.
100%. We spoke about this before, that we thought,
you know what, boys?
not even celebrities, these stupid YouTubers just coming in.
You know what we need to do, boys? We need to get some boxing gloves and just speak to Eddie and get into the boxing. What an embarrassment. I don't get this anymore.
I don't even understand what this was. Originally, I thought it was Tyrone Woodley versus Jake Paul in the octagon. I thought he was jumping in the octagon against an animal like Tyrone Woodley was going to get eaten alive. But it was actually a boxing match, which was even worse. Well, how did Jake Paul
do you not understand? Do you not understand that? Well, you do understand, but there's no way Dana White will let anybody into an octagon knowing how dangerous the sport is.
Exactly, bro. And that's the thing. The boxing promoters should be the same. They should be thinking the same.
They're only thinking about the money, though. They're not thinking about the sport. They're not thinking about.
I've said this I've said it over on Fight Night. I've said it on All Things Football. I've said it on Fergie Time. There's too much money in sport that's ruining different sports. Football's being ruined. Boxing's being ruined. UFC's being ruined. You name the sport, it's probably been ruined by money at some point.
The funny thing is that Tyrone Woodley actually thought he won the fight. So he's gone and replayed it and said,
but the thing is, Tyrone Woodley did win the fight. That's the thing, bro. I watched the highlights. I watched the replay of the fight. Tyrone Woodley won that fight. The only 2 rounds you can give to Jake Paul are the first opening 2 rounds because he was better in them 2 rounds than Woodley. Woodley took a while to warm up. From round 3 onwards, Tyrone Woodley was on him. And Tyrone Woodley actually rocked him was it the 6th or 7th round, maybe 8th?
Yeah. When he put him through the middle rope.
When you've rocked your opponent, bro. That's what I want to know.
Fourth round.
Fourth round. He rocked him again after the 4th round as well. I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he did towards the end.
So he's rocked him twice. But he still lost those. He lost those rounds apparently. Doesn't even make sense, bro. To me, this smells fishy from the get-go, bro. This smells really bad. It just seems like it was a setup for Jake Paul to win.
It was. You don't understand. Woodley should have ended up knocking this guy out because I was reading Twitter saying, why doesn't this guy put this guy to sleep? Exactly. He's literally laying off him. I'm like, okay, look, no offense. You want to protect the YouTuber, but the fact is he shouldn't have been in the ring in the first place.
Bro, that's the thing. They shouldn't be there protecting each other. Boxing and UFC ain't that type of sport. This ain't basketball or football, bro. This is a full contact sport.
What I think's happened here is they've gone through this fight, let him win the first fight, and they're going to play him for a second fight, mate, try and get some more money out of it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Because there's already talk of a rematch.
Yeah, well, Jake said to Tyron in the ring, the only way you're going to get a rematch is if you tattoo yourself and say, I love Jake Paul on you.
That's not happening.
Well, they shook hands on it in the ring.
Oh, my word.
So
if he's
Tyrone
getting a
agreed to that
tattoo
100%.
saying he loves Jake Paul, there's obviously something between them. There's some type of bond between them, a friendship or whatever. I mean, and that's why they played this fight out the way they did. Tyrone Woodley made Jake Paul look like a good boxer in that fight, and he's not. By no means, he is not a good fighter at all. Mayweather made him look good because they were given
That was his
money
brother,
to
wasn't
make
it?
him
It's
look
Logan.
good.
Yeah, Logan Paul.
Was that Logan? Whichever
That was
brother it
Logan.
was, they're both scumbags anyway.
Yeah, well, I can't
You know
disagree
the funny
with you.
thing is, you know the funny thing is, Logan Paul was on WWE the other day.
He was,
That's
and I
how
switched
funny.
and I fast forwarded it straight away. What is the point of having him on WWE?
Oh,
I
God.
don't get it. He's not there to wrestle because he get destroyed. He get humiliated in the ring. He can't wrestle. So what's he doing there? Does Vince McMahon thinks this guy can bring him ratings?
I say the big name in it on YouTube. That's why there's following him around like
I honestly hate these YouTubers that think they're so good that they can do whatever they want, bro. Like, I think me and you mentioned this before, Nadeem, yeah? The fights that Logan Paul or Jake Paul had before, which was against KSI, that to that level, it's okay because they're fighting other YouTubers who are amateurs at the same level as them, right? Which I'm okay with. You know, they're having a bit of a laugh against each other. They've got a bit of beef. They're having a bit of a fight. They're making money, whatever, right? But from there to actually get in the boxing ring with probably the greatest boxer of all time, like Mayweather, and then one of the best UFC fighters in the past decade or so in Tyrone Woodley, it's an absolute joke to think that they can actually stand in that ring with them and do well, because the only reason they look like they did well is because Mayweather and
they're being carried.
Tyrone Woodley made them look good. They carried them. Like you said, Mayweather held Logan Paul up. Tyrone Woodley rocked Jake Paul.
Yeah. The only thing holding him up at that point was the middle rope.
I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw Jake and Logan Paul as a tag team in WWE at this rate. I'm not even joking now. Don't even laugh. I can see this happening, bro, because one of them's already been on WWE. The other one's eventually going to jump on with his brother. They're going to get attacked by a tag team, and then it's going to be a tag team match, and they're going to get embarrassed. It's going to happen, Shaz. You tell me I'm wrong.
No, I wouldn't disagree with what you said, but it's
just ridiculous, man.
I think the problem I've got with this is that basically, bro, this is professional sports, and you're just basically saying boxing is an embarrassment. It's not.
Boxing is an embarrassment right now with Jake Paul in the octagon in the ring. Something I want to touch on though is after the fights, he had a bit of an altercation with Tommy Fury at backstage.
Yeah, they've been calling
Fury, right? Tommy Fury told him, stop running, accept the fight. But then Jake Paul went out and said he didn't say anything to him. But you can clearly hear it on the YouTube video that he's saying, stop running, fight me. Because Tommy Fury ain't going to mess around with him. Tommy Fury will destroy him. He's not going to give him the chance like Tyrone Woodley has or like Mayweather gave his brother. Tommy Fury won't be messing around with him.
The thing is with that, do you know when he had him on the back foot and he was on the ropes? Tyrone had him on the ropes. He should have got in there. He should have unloaded him. That's what would have happened in a normal
Any other
boxing
boxer would
match.
have finished that fight right there and then when he had him against the ropes. And I think he went underneath the top rope, and it looked like he was between the top and middle rope.
Yeah,
he should have let him back in the ring. Bang, finished him.
You know, one thing that I think has played a part in these two crazy results that we saw. So I think there's a legal precedent, because the problem is that the boxing authorities are playing it safe, because if they know if these YouTubers get mental illness or brain damage, they're severely going to get sued, because
they can't. Nah, these YouTubers cannot sue the boxing because they've given them a license. They've asked for a license and they've got the license. It's their responsibility. It's down to them whether they want to step in that ring or not. It's their responsibility and their team to look after them. If they're going to get mental health illnesses or brain damage or whatever from boxing, and then they're going to sue boxing and they get money from it, that's ridiculous, because then any boxer who boxes can then sue the boxing association and say, oh, you give me a license, I've got brain damage, I want money. That's bullshit.
when they take a license out, they understand the risks that they're getting
They
into.
understand the health risk behind it. They have to, otherwise they won't get it. I mean, you're not gonna jump into a boxing ring or a UFC octagon or the WWE ring or whatever if you don't know the health risks, bro. You're trained in a professional way to know the health risks and how to protect yourself. So to say that they would turn around and then sue the boxing association, that's just BS, bro. I mean, if they try it, it's BS.
I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is that
I can see where you're coming from. I can see shit like that happening because these YouTubers are scumbags and all they're out there to do is get money, bro.
Exactly.
They're just like Conor McGregor, bro. They just want the money, innit? It's just ridiculous, man. Just ridiculous, man. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to continue saying what I want to say without using, profanity and stuff. So I'm just going to stay quiet for a bit. I'll let you two talk, man.
Well, in a nutshell, I think we all agree that it's a good thing none of us stayed up to watch it because we would have broken the TV or something. That's for this. And second of all, I think boxing just needs to have a look at itself and how it promotes itself. It's like saying anybody can go and play football for a Premiership team. I don't think it works like that.
Exactly. Shaz, I'm going to go contact Man United and ask him if I can play up front with Ronaldo. Just because I think I'm a good footballer, but I'm definitely not. Do you know what I mean? I would never get a chance to do that.
No, that's
mate, you might do. You're on YouTube now, mate. You might have that chance.
Oh dear me. Oh man, I don't even know, man. It's just mad.
Bro, he tries that. Ronaldo's gonna take him and walk him to the tunnel and say, "Listen, bro, carry on."
That's what he's gonna say to me. He's like, "You go home, kid." He goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'll do this on my own. You go home, innit?"
Oh, man.
Nah, but seriously, let's jump on to Tommy Fury for a bit because Tommy Fury's fight, was it Anthony
Taylor?
Anthony Taylor, that's the one. I thought it was a decent fight. I thought it was a good fight. Tommy Fury did some damage, man. He had some good combos, good punches. Do you know what I mean? And I think going forward, he's going to do some damage in that division. And
he's a lot different from Tyson, isn't he?
What's that?
He's a lot different from Tyson Fury, isn't he? I mean, Tyson's 100%. a big flabby blob, and
this guy's the muscly
Tommy Fury. He's yeah, that's it.
What Tommy Fury is looking to do is to get out of his brother's shadow. So I think he's trying to build a name for himself, which is good. Because right now everyone keeps judging him based on what Tyson's done.
Yeah, because everyone just knows him as Tyson Fury's brother.
Yeah.
So he wants to try and step out of that shadow and do his own thing, which is great. And I think he'll do it. I think he'll do well. But just watching this fight yesterday, I thought he did pretty well. And obviously he's still young. He's got the chance to develop and get better. And I think just the more fights he has, the better he's going to get. And I can't wait to see him knock Jake Paul out. I'm 100% down for that fight, bro. I just want to see that fight just to see Jake Paul get knocked the fuck out. I'm sorry using that language, Shaz, but I had to say it, bro. It just had to happen, bro. That's a one-up, bro. I won't say it again.
I don't think it'll happen. I mean, let's be honest. We've just had a headache talking about it now. I don't think anyone's a double dose of.
Bro, I've still got a headache, bro. Talking about it now, you get me?
Oh man,
that's true. But I don't think that's gonna happen. That fight, though.
I think Jake Paul's too scared to get in the ring with a real fighter like Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
He'll only get in the ring with people that he knows that'll take the money and make him look good and maybe let him win the fight. Who knows? Maybe he's in the ring with Conor McGregor next because Conor McGregor will need the money.
Oh, yeah,
I don't even want to see the circus that's going to be. That's going to be a circus and a half. With McGregor's mouth and bloody Jake or Logan Paul's mouth. Bloody heck. That's going to be a circus, bro.
No, I don't think
that's going to be a black day for boxing, that.
If anyone actually pays for the pay-per-view, then geez, God help us all, bro.
But people will, like, the Logan Paul and Jake Paul fans will pay for that pay-per-view, and the Conor McGregor fans will pay for that pay-per-view.
I was saying, I can
tell you categorically right now, I will not pay for that pay-per-view.
I'm just shocked that Jake Paul got up to £1 million yesterday just for that fight.
Yeah. So Shaz, I don't know if you know, right? Jake Paul, his guaranteed money from that was $1 million. And Tyrone Woodley's was 500,000, so half of it, right? Now, both of their purse will double based on pay-per-view buys. So Jake Paul's will go to 2 million and Tyrone Woodley will go to 1. Now, I was saying this before. How the heck do you justify Jake Paul getting more money than Tyrone Woodley, who is a legit fighter? It's just crazy.
Yeah.
It should have been maybe you both get the same 50-50 split.
Yeah, I can't explain that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That's the whole point, right? This whole fight, this whole crap about these stupid YouTubers trying to jump into boxing, you can't explain it. The only way people justify it is because it's about the money. Like the YouTubers bring in buys on YouTube, yeah. They bring in ratings and views on YouTube. They make money off it. And then you see promoters who want to make money of it. All right, these guys are making bare money on YouTube. They're going to make me bare money in the ring. So I'm going to let them step in the ring, whether I know they can get their ass kicked or not.
Well,
that's the problem. The promoters should stop and say, right, this is boxing. This is our sport. These are our rings. You can't just walk into these rings and then start making money off it. You need to start building your way up.
You know what would have ended the circus? If Mayweather had just clinically dismantled Logan Paul and just literally outpunched him and said, listen, bro, this is what an exhibition of what I can do.
Exactly.
Okay, he's retired, but
I'm blaming Mayweather and I'm blaming Tyrone Woodley for letting this circus continue. Because who's it going to be next?
Earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Who's it going to be next? Who are they going to fight next? Manny Pacquiao?
No.
Ricky Hatton's going to come out of retirement?
No, he's
Is Amir Khan going to get in the ring with one of them? Where does it end, bro? That's what I'm trying to say. Where does this end?
I'll tell you where it ends. If you get a serious boxer, and when I mean serious, I mean active boxer, because Mayweather and Woodley are...
let's not even talk about Mayweather.
You get a serious boxer in there, they will literally clinically dismantle these two.
No, of course. That's the thing, right? Jake Paul has been offered a fight against Tommy Fury, and he's running away from it because he knows Tommy Fury will destroy him in that ring. Tommy Fury will knock him clean out within the first round, if you ask me. Tommy Fury is a legitimate fighter. He's not going to just let this guy come into the sport and get away with it without getting knocked out. Do you get me? And that's why he won't take the fight, because he knows Tommy Fury will destroy him. They don't like each other personally, do they, Nadeem?
No, they were kicking off, aren't they? Even at the weigh-ins and like the press conference before the fight, it was all about Tyrone and Jake, but Jake and Paul, Tommy were just kicking off with each other.
I didn't even watch the weigh-in, bro, but it doesn't surprise me. It's all they do all this. They'll do all these little things, at the weigh-ins and stuff, just to bring in the hype for the fight, so people go, "Oh yeah, that's really good. That I want to watch this fight. I'm going to go buy the pay-per-view." If I were BT Sports, I wouldn't have even put it on pay-per-view. Let them put it on Dave, innit? Or let them put it on bloody YouTube. The YouTubers, let them put it on their platform. Why put it on BT or Sky Sports? Why tarnish the boxing legacy like that, man?
Oh, they'll be on Sky Box Office soon, mate. So
don't worry. I think that fight was on BT, weren't it? The Logan Paul one.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, no chance. No chance anyone's paying for that.
It's a mad one. It's a mad one. So what are the other fights coming up besides, obviously we know AJ's fighting us, yeah. We've talked about that a couple of times. But what other fights are coming up boxing wise? Has there anybody got any other fights that are coming up?
Well, apart from obviously AJ and Tyson Fury's fighting 9th of October. Okay. What's happening?
Who's he fighting? Deontay Wilder?
Yeah. 9th of October, Las Vegas.
Oh, right. Okay.
Viva Las Vegas, boys.
All right, Conor Ben's fighting. That's decent. What date's that? Doesn't even give me a date. Nice. Well done. Conor Ben versus Adrian Granados. Oh, September 10th.
Okay.
So that's next week. Not bad, no. Oh, what? Am I reading that right?
What?
September 11th, Oscar De La Hoya.
What?
What? Am I reading that right, people? That says Oscar De La Hoya versus Vitor Belfort.
I'm looking on BBC, bro. I don't know where you're seeing this, bro.
I'll send you this link, and you tell me if I'm reading this right, both of you. I'm sure I'm not tripping. I'm telling you, I'm not tripping. Read that.
I'm looking at BBC. I didn't see
It's on
it.
the same fight. It's on the same card as the David Haye fight, and Anderson Silva's fighting Tito Ortiz on the same fight. Aren't they UFC
bringing
fighters?
back the legends, huh? Yeah, they are.
But why is Oscar De La Hoya fighting? I thought he retired a long time ago.
Exhibition, bro.
Is this card is just all the legends coming back? Because Victor Belfort, correct me if I'm wrong, he's an old UFC fighter as well, isn't he?
He is indeed.
So this is just a bunch of 40, 50-year-old people fighting each other, bro. They've got nothing else better to do when they're retired. They're all fighting each other. That's an insane one. Yeah, Oscar De La Hoya versus Vitor Belfort, Anderson Silva versus Tito Ortiz, and David Haye versus Joe Foyner. And that's on September 11th from the Staples Center in LA. What is that, bro? What is that event, bro? I don't even understand that event. The only legitimate boxer is Oscar De La Hoya, and I don't even understand why he's coming out of retirement.
All they need now is chuck the Iceman Liddell back on the cut show. It's a classic, mate. There, yeah. All the classics.
That's it. That's mad.
Call Randy Couture out.
That's it. September 25th, we've got Joshua and Usyk. Who's on the other card? Callum Smith's on the undercard.
Yes, he is.
What else have we got? Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, October 9th from Las Vegas. Okay, we've got Canelo versus Caleb Plant, November 6th, Las Vegas Plant, again. Yeah. The other fights aren't really that big, so I'm not even going to go through them. But recently, since January, there has been quite a lot of good fights. There's Ryan Garcia KO'd Luke Campbell in January.
Yeah, I remember that.
Adrian Broner won unanimous decision versus Santiago. I didn't even know that fight happened. Joseph Parker unanimous decision over Junior Fa. Tommy Fury won back in London against Scott Williams, second round knockout, TKO.
Right, lads, I'm gonna have to shoot off. Hope you two guys
man, we'll be back again next Monday.
Yes, and I'll see you later, guys.
Yeah, no worries, bro. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Nice one, bro.
Nice one, bro. Take it easy. Yeah, man, I was just looking at some of the results from earlier this year, man. Canelo beat Avni Yildirim.
Yes.
Round 3, I think it was.
Yeah, that was an early. I think it was like a warm up for him.
Since I think that was February. Was that February?
Yeah.
Yeah, February 27th. I'm just trying to see if there's any other fights that I've actually missed, man. Dylan White, TKO 4th round. Povetkin.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's a good fight.
I'm just trying to see if there's any fights that I've actually missed. Conor Benn in April versus Samuel Vargas, TKO round 1. That sounds like a decent one. Jake Paul beat Ben Askren in April. I didn't even know they fought.
UFC fighter, I think, apparently.
Ben Askren, isn't he a YouTuber?
I don't know. I thought he was a UFC fighter.
I'm not too sure on that, you know. Let me have a look.
You could be right. I don't know.
Oh, no, you're right. American retired professional mixed martial artist and amateur wrestler.
You get the drift, right? What they're doing is they're fighting wannabe has-beens that are done.
They're fighting retired people, bro.
Exactly. They're not really doing anything to...
It looks like there was a decent card back in May from Manchester. Eddie Hearn's Matchroom. Joseph Parker versus Derek Chisora.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I think the undercard was Chris Eubank Jr. versus Marcus Morrison.
Yeah.
That sounds like a decent fight. The same day they had Andy Roos versus Chris Arreola.
Yeah, I remember that.
Canelo fought Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, knocked him out clean.
Knocked him out May 8th from Texas.
I remember that.
There's quite a lot of fights that obviously that have happened this year, but we've not really spoken about any of them because we've only just started, man. Tommy Fury again. I think that's his fourth fight this year. Yeah. Been fighting a lot this year. Or Lomachenko, he fought in June against Nakatani. TKO in the 9th. Lomachenko's a good fighter, man. I rate him.
Yeah,
he's a good fighter, man.
He's a good fighter.
Are there any other good fights on here, man? Kid Galahad. He won back in August the 7th. That was just recent. That was in Essex in the UK.
Yeah.
And then obviously, there has been other fights since then, but there's not. Obviously, the Manny Pacquiao one that we covered last week. In Birmingham, Frank Warren had a couple of fights on his card, but they're not really big names. They're just British super lightweight titles, super featherweight.
Yeah, they're local.
Light heavyweight.
Local talent.
So they're just local ones. So, I mean, there's some decent fighters locally, but maybe we should cover some of the local fighters in another episode, man.
Yeah, we will.
Going forward. But yeah, I mean, there looks like there's some decent. I mean, I don't understand why Oscar De La Hoya is coming out of retirement, bro.
I didn't even know. So when I looked on BBC, I couldn't even see it.
No, neither could I. That's not even been announced. I mean, that's big news, man. Oscar De La Hoya is a big fighter.
Bro, he's been
and
retired.
The other people on that card as well, Anderson Silva, Bellator, these are all big fighters. Obviously, yeah, they're retired, they're old, but them coming out of retirement's a big deal, man. And they're on the same card as a David Haye fight.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Don't you think?
Well, for me, that's the fact that Oscar De La Hoya is coming out of retirement when he's not fought in like 15, 12, 13 years. I think is embarrassment. I think the guy needs to stay retired. I don't understand what's his name, David Haye's doing. He's clearly bored and just can't stay out of the limelight. He's going to get knocked out again. No surprise there.
Bro, David Haye's just going to get battered and then he's going to retire for another 2 years or something. And he's going to come back out of retirement because he needs more money. It's just a mad one, bro. I don't even see why they're letting him out. I don't even see why he's got his license back. The guy's been beaten so many times. It's unbelievable. Who did he fight last?
David Haye. He fought, what's his name? That Scouser. What's his name?
Tony Bellew.
Who?
Tony Bellew.
Oh, Tony Bellew.
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah, Tony Bellew.
That was his last fight. He got beat off him twice.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah, the guy beat him twice and retired him. And
yeah,
he fought, is it Valuev? He fought Valuev as well at one point.
Yeah, that's when he won the title off Valuev. And then lost.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He's fought one of the Klitschko's as well, hasn't he, in his career?
Yes, he fought Vladimir and got beaten.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
and then he blamed it on his toe. So, just enough said.
There's a rumor here that a while back he was due to fight Tyson Fury, but it never went ahead.
Bro, that was back in the day. I remember that was supposed to happen, but
that was after the Chisora fight.
Yeah, due to injury, they.
Oh man, I would have loved to see that. But yeah, he's coming out of retirement to fight Fournier. Yeah, it says here, I'm reading it here. In August, it was announced Haye was making a comeback for one fight on September 11th and about against his friend and businessman, Joe Fournier. So the key word there, friend and businessman, he's not even a fighter, bro. Do you get me? And on the undercard of the Triller pay-per-view bout, Oscar De La Hoya and Vitor Belfort will be fighting. So it does mention it.
Yeah, that's
oh my word. Sky Box Office are picking it up.
What?
Is this fight? It's his first box office on Sky since his last fight against Bellew in 2017.
Yeah,
they're
no
saying
one,
this for some reason they think this card's going to bring in bare money because it's got these old legends on it. Nah.
they might as well call it OAP night. That's what the old age pensioners coming out of retirement to fight when they don't.
Why not? Why not, bro? That's what it is, isn't it? They're all legends coming out. I mean, the only legend out of those that I actually like and respect is Oscar De La Hoya, because he was a brilliant boxer back in his days, man. But that's just mad, man. It's just mad. I don't understand, man. I don't understand what this joke is in boxing. They're letting people like David Haye come back. They're letting people like Jake Paul fight and Logan Paul and Conor McGregor. And freaking Tyrone Woodley's not even a boxer, let's be honest. He's an MMA fighter. He did the same thing Conor McGregor did, jumped from the octagon to the ring and got beat. Exactly what happened to Conor McGregor against Mayweather.
Yeah, some things you should never have to see again.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's just mad. I mean, if Tyrone Woodley just said no to Jake Paul, we wouldn't have had to see Jake Paul win a fight. Do you get what I mean, bro?
I don't even know how he won the fight. That's how embarrassing it is.
You've seen the highlights, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you your honest opinion. How many rounds did you actually give to Jake Paul and how many did you give to Tyrone Woodley?
I actually only gave the first round to Jake Paul. The rest of them I gave to Woodley, but then, like you said, he did shade the second round as well, so that's a valid point. The rest of them I gave to Woodley. So when I heard the official announcement this morning, I was like, "What? You can't be serious,
bro!" Do you know how I found out? Your text message on WhatsApp.
I had to share it with you.
I hadn't checked the news or anything because I thought, you know what, I'll have something to eat and I'll sit down, I'll jump on YouTube and I'll watch the highlights. And
no,
then
I'm sorry.
I check my WhatsApp and I've got a message from Shaz telling me that Tyrone Woodley's lost to Jake Paul. And I'm like, you know what? He's just saved me half an hour of watching this fight and finding out for myself.
I knew, because you know what? Had you watched that, you would have picked up the phone to me and said, Shaz, we need to talk. I'll be, well, what's up?
Bro, did I not ring you anyway?
I
rang you in the afternoon saying, Shaz,
like,
did you hear the results of the fight?
Yeah. I think
like you hadn't already told me.
I was like, I didn't know how to tell you. It's like, you don't want to tell him because you want him to watch it, but you don't want him to watch it because he's gonna have a rant, and you don't want him to have a rant because.
Bro, I still had my rant on the phone with you and with Nadeem earlier.
Yeah,
and I've had my rant on here as well.
No, I'm amazed because had I had Nadeem's number or if he was in the WhatsApp group, I would have just shared it with you both and said, boys, tonight's topic is already covered. Let's get your rants out.
Let's get the rants out of the way first, innit? Yeah. That's just a mad one, bro. That's just a mad one. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that we need to talk about this. This was just an episode to get our frustrations out in boxing about Jake Paul and all these stupid celebrities jumping on. But yeah, do appreciate everyone tuning in. Appreciate the love and support from everybody. As always, appreciate Nadeem being on. Appreciate Shaz always being on. Appreciate all the shows that Shaz gets on. If you didn't check it out earlier, Shaz did a show, All Things Sky Blue, covering Coventry City with Rich on YouTube. And that was around 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock. If you want to go watch that, by all means, jump over to YouTube, watch it, and watch all the other videos in the library whilst you're there. Leave a like and comment on this video, and subscribe over here on Twitch, subscribe over on YouTube. We'll be getting more content out. We'll be getting new shows added to the already big list of shows that we're doing. We're going to be bringing more and more content. We're just going to keep getting that content out. So if it's any type of show you want to see us do, let us know. I know some channels are doing a relegation show for the Premier League and stuff like that. I've got some ideas for some new shows I'm going to discuss with Shaz and the other hosts like Rich and Nadeem, and see if we can come up with some new concepts, some new shows, and hopefully we'll be bringing them to you over on YouTube or Twitch. We'll have to decide together where we want it. But until next time, I really appreciate everyone tuning in here on Twitch. As I said, jump over on YouTube if you want to watch the older videos from All Things Football, Fergie Time, All Things Sky Blue, All Things Wrestling. We do have some reaction videos in a reaction series if you want to catch them. And if you want to catch the other videos of Fight Night, they're in the Fight Night replay section over on YouTube. But until next time, that is all from me. So I'm going to hand it over to my boy Shaz, and I'm going to let him give his final thoughts and say what he needs, and we'll wrap this one up.
No, I appreciate that, Shaz. So just a big shout out and thanks to everyone that has tuned in tonight. Really appreciate the love and support, as Shaz has already alluded to. This was great to have our chance to have a rant about the embarrassment that is boxing right now. But guys, we will be back with some future episodes. As always, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Just drop us a shout on our Twitter handles below. If there's any content you'd like to see us covering going forward in terms of fight nights or any classic boxing or UFC fights you want us to have a chat on, or if, like I said, on the Sky Blues one, if you haven't already seen it, if anybody wants to jump on, then do let us know. We'd love to have more guests on because, as always, this is for you. But guys, until next time, have a good evening and we'll see you soon.